Dear Dave, I bought a house with my fiance. He is now my ex-fiance, and the house is in foreclosure. No shit.
I just needed to get some advice. I did the ultimate no-no. I bought a house with somebody I wasn't married to. After about a year of having the house, I needed to move out due to some circumstances when we broke up. And
who slept with whom?
Now the house is going to go into foreclosure, and I'm just trying to figure out what are my options here, what to do. I've also accumulated about $25,000 in debt due to these circumstances, and trying to figure out how I can get out of this.
$25,000 in debt to who?
Credit cards, loans.
Personal loans?
Well, it wasn't well, I guess you can call it a personal loan. It was a water softener bill for the house.
You know, I have done more than 500 Ramsey videos. And this is the first time I've ever heard that the downfall of the finances is the water softener. Now, all these questions that she's asking and all these thoughts that she's had, guys, shouldn't you be asking this stuff before you get the house? Why do you guys think of this only after it has happened? He wasn't your husband. He was your fiance. That is not good enough for me. You must be my husband because you're going to hold the same legal liability that I'm going to hold. Now, it seems to me that she said due to circumstances, I'm willing to bet he's probably the one who called it quits. And the only reason I'm willing to bet that is if they bought the house, if they bought the house together, but let's just say she actually, wound up being the majority owner. I don't know if that's possible, okay? But she's sounding concerned now that she's got this debt. So it's making me think that she carried the majority of the debt to get the house. Otherwise, wouldn't he be the one calling in saying, and my ex-girlfriend strapped me with $25,000 worth of debt? A water softener, you guys. How's that for your Friday? Look, if you're having to put a water softener on a credit card, you cannot afford that water softener.
That's the circumstances?
The $25,000 bill, credit card, and some water softener.
That's one of the loans that's part of my debt now.
Well, what happened?
See, I was right. She said that's part of my debt right now. So what did he take on?
Are you on the mortgage?
Yes, I'm on the mortgage. We're both on the mortgage.
And you're both on the deed.
And we're both on the deed. He's still in the house. I moved out.
You moved out and he decided to stop paying?
Yes.
Okay.
Ooh, this is tasty tea for a Friday.
You've been paying?
Well, yeah, we were paying before. When I moved out, he was paying, and then now he decided to stop paying.
Okay, somebody either fell in love with somebody else, had a one-night stand with someone else. Really, those are the only two things I can think of. I mean, I'm sure there's probably a third. Put in the comments if there's a third. But literally, she says this was her fiance. They were going to get a house. So why didn't they get married? Guys, you got, oh, I wish Ramsey were here. We have to stop playing house. Okay, we can want to pretend we're married. We got to stop playing house. If it ain't really there, it's not really there.
And it's already in foreclosure, or it is?
Yes, it's already in foreclosure, Ken. I think she said that. Or she said it's going into foreclosure.
It's in the process of getting there.
It's in the process of getting there. We're 4 months behind. We have been trying to sell the home, but have been unsuccessful with that.
And this only ran 2 days ago. Do you know what the housing market is like right now? I can't see what city this is in. Let me see if I can see what cities. I can't tell what city it's in. Maybe look on another screen.
Unsuccessful in that no one's even looking at it, or you've had showings and they're giving you feedback that you can process?
We had showings, but no real interest in
They're in Raleigh, North Carolina.
the house. And it's a brand new house.
Oof. Good luck selling that, especially with all the home warranty issues they've been having, clumsy construction and all of that stuff. Was this avoidable, family? Was this something we did not have to deal with? Absolutely it is.
Are you working with a real estate pro?
Yeah.
Does she work for Ramsey?
And what is their logic for why nothing's moving here? Is it priced too high?
It was, they feel like it was priced too high, but because there was a new community being built in the area, that was kind of affecting us as well, because they were able to bring their prices down.
In other words, you're pricing your property too high. You need to price your property like a couple that is splitting up. You're not going for the highest rate. You're just going to try to break even, and you're probably going to have to accept some losses. And that water softener, I would fight over that one.
Give lower interest rates and that sort of thing.
Have you lowered your price?
Yes, as far as we can go. We're now in the process of asking the mortgage company for a short sale to see if that's even possible.
Do they know that you have the place listed and you're trying to sell it before the foreclosure goes through?
They do. Yes, they do know.
Okay. I mean, that's going to be your best bet, is just trying to sell this thing ASAP, even if you have to lower the price.
What you need to do is you need to offer a reduced sale with the ex-fiance in it and see if it moves faster. Then the next people who buy the house can deal with getting his butt out. I'll be totally honest. I think you each kind of played each other. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong to say that, but the reason I feel confident in saying, this is my fan, the reason I feel confident in saying that you each played each other is because you were willing to both go into this before you had rings on the finger. So to an extent, each of you was playing the other. I am not going to try to guess as to who is at fault for the ultimate breakup. We'll just assume it was a mutual decision. But yeah, each played each other, trying to gain something that you probably shouldn't have tried to do until you were married. Now you're dealing with the repercussions. And as Mr. Ramsey has said in the past, okay, the courts can't really help you here because you're not husband and wife. So you're just in a really bad breakup dealing with a really big, expensive piece of property.
Instead of going through a short sale or, worst case, that foreclosure.
But even if we lower the price, the bank has to approve us going below what we owe on
yes,
the
because what do you guys owe on the mortgage?
$465.
Dang! Holy cow! I was hoping maybe just be like, maybe 250, 300. Oh, you guys were all into playing house. I mean, they had the white picket fence, the yard, and everything. The only thing they didn't have was the piece of paper that made you husband and wife.
And when you moved out, he obviously could not pay that mortgage on his own. Was that the case?
Well, George, God love you. And I know you're the one who told the 80-year-old lady about half a year ago to go get a part-time job. Okay. I'm assuming that considering the house is 4 months behind, that his butt don't have any more money than her butt does. Unless, of course, he's hoarding the money for himself. Okay. Because he knows the relationship's over and all of that stuff. Now, the fact that she moved out, put in the comments, do you think they broke up because of her or because of him? Because she moved out. So that tells me the person who moved out is the one who feels most uncomfortable. Pretty much, right? The person who moves out to me is the one who feels most uncomfortable. I'm out of here, Henry, and I'm taking the Chihuahua with me. So put in the comments, who do you think is most responsible? But keep it in mind that she's the one who moved out. And I always believe, okay, if I'm the one moving out, it's because I'm the one that is most stressed. Sometimes, most of the time, I think that's what it is. But I could be wrong. So throw in the comments, who do you think is a fault? Spill the tea.
I'm assuming no, yes, I don't know. He paid it for 6 months, so.
Goes to show you how well they knew each other. I am assuming he, yes, well, I don't know. See, this is what happens when you play house. When you set up the Fisher Price toys and all that stuff, the only thing is you're dealing in real life. Consequences. God, please don't tell me they have children.
Okay, he was floating it and then
Stop.
could no longer float it. What's the communication like with your ex right now?
Hey, George here in the control.
I'm going to zip us right through the Xander commercials. I'm zipping, and here we go. Yes, you can feel free to thank me in the comments.
Communicate unless it has something to do with the home.
Oh my goodness!
All right, and just
She's saying they don't communicate unless it has something to do with the home.
one more clarification question. You've been paying your half of it. Is that how you guys have been doing this, splitting the payments, and you've been making your payment?
No, I don't pay anything towards the mortgage.
Oh, everybody stop. Everybody just stop. She don't pay nothing towards the mortgage? Well, no wonder her ass moved out. She should. She ain't paying nothing. Kick her out. And they're both on the mortgage. Wait a minute. Oh, she don't pay nothing towards the mortgage. You know what I'm willing to think? Maybe he lost his job. Maybe the money then that was rolling in was no longer rolling in. That's better not be due to PPP loan fraud. Now, I'm thinking here, wow, this changed. And you notice how casually she said that? I don't pay anything towards the mortgage. Kind of like, well, I don't check the mail every day, which I don't. Oh, this is changing things. Okay, so my little mind, my bunny ears are on target. You know what I'm thinking? She moved out because the gravy train stopped. He's probably gone broke. And he said to her, honey, why don't you get a part-time job? And she looked and said, who, me? I moved in here with the expectation that you would be taking care of the entire mortgage. And now that you can't, I'm out.
I moved out. I had to find another place to stay. So,
remember, this is North Carolina, just to give you a geographic representation.
I'm paying where I have to live.
Okay, but your name is on the. Okay, you understand why I asked that?
Yeah.
Because
You have a legal obligation.
You are legally.
Okay, well, at least the boyfriend, ex-fiance, okay, he was smart enough to make sure her butt was put on the house. Okay, I got to give some kudos now to the ex-fiance. Remember, guys, I listened to this for the first time with you. This is why I do not listen to these in advance. We react together.
Obliged to pay that whether you've moved out or not. So, wow.
So pay up.
I don't see a way out of this.
I don't
unless
either.
you guys can find a way to sell it before it forecloses.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know that you can or want to float the payments to help get out of this or have the ability to.
No, I don't have the ability to.
Whoa. Oh, okay. We got to hear more detail on this. She's living mortgage free. Is she broke? Like, why? If you're a guy, okay, guys, listen to me here, okay? And I'm telling you this in a loving way. Do not buy a house with a woman, one, when you're not married to her, okay? Do not buy a house. I can love you to death. I would not expect you to purchase a house with me if I'm not willing to marry you. If I'm not willing to take on 50% of the responsibility of that house, I don't expect you to marry me. And the second thing is, for God's sakes, don't buy a house with a woman who feels entitled that she doesn't have to pay squat towards the mortgage. I want an explanation as to why she didn't pay on the mortgage. Like, why was it his responsibility? Now, I'm going to give her some grace if it turns out, hey, you know what? I make all the car payments. I make the insurance payments. You know, I pay for the food budget and it was split up like that. Okay, now I'll give some grace for that. But from the tone of her voice, it just sounds like she just don't pay the mortgage. Like, it's almost comes across as kind of like an expectation. Oh, I don't pay the mortgage. It wasn't, I don't pay the mortgage, but I cover the other stuff. I'm beginning to see why she packed up and moved out. I think he lost some income. I genuinely do.
What are you making right now? What's your income?
About 112.
And where's all that money going? That's a good income.
To my expenses.
What's your rent?
2,400.
2,400 in North Carolina. Okay, this is all coming together. Okay, gentlemen, this video of mine today may save you thousands and thousands of dollars. Okay, when a woman thinks that her money is for her expenses, but wants you to put a roof over her sorry butt, that's not the woman you want to get into a relationship with. Okay, my mind now is starting to really get an idea as to how this is set up. She was supposed to be a kept woman by this guy. Now, why if that was her goal, why she was dumb enough to sign on it? They were both stupid. Okay, let's just call it what it is. Okay, they were both dumb. All right, but she's like, I don't pay for anything. I have to pay for my expenses. She makes $112,000 a year. You could say that's almost 2.5, 3 times, people's average income.
Okay. And what else? Because you're bringing home probably what, $8,000?
No, probably about 6.
Now remember, her rent is $2,400. That is lavish living. She is trying to keep herself in the lifestyle of which she was accustomed. Come on, guys, you're talking Raleigh, North Carolina here. Not saying they don't have nice places in Raleigh, but come on, 2,400. This woman, oh my God, she wants to be a kept woman, and anything that she makes is hers, and anything that you make is hers. And when you cannot make it to the extent that she feels it is being kept within her lifestyle, she will dump your butt. The sorry thing for her, and now I'm secretly happy about it, I'm glad she's on half of this mortgage. To the guy that did this, don't ever do this again. But you were smart. To the guy, you were smart. You made her accountable for half of it. So you know what? I'm not to give a round of applause for that. Good job.
Okay.
I mean, well, after tax. I guess you're saying after taxes. After tax is about 6.
Okay. Are you doing any investing right now?
Yes. I mean, I invest in, my 401k and stuff like that.
Yeah, we need to pause all of that. You need to act like everything is on fire, and you need to work on getting out of this house mess and paying off your debt. So we're not saving, right? Do you have any savings?
Yeah, I have some in savings.
Give it up, lady. You got the house. I'm sorry, a 2,400. I'm just still getting over that in North Carolina. That is lavish living, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. Okay. Live lavishly if you can afford it. The problem is she can't afford it right now. She got a house that she needs to first take care of. This is the type of woman. Okay. Another tip to men. This is the type of woman that will take you to the cleaners if you were to marry her and divorce her. She's not the type to go, okay, let's think reasonably 50-50. This is the type of woman that will take you to the cleaners. I am to the young man that got involved with this person here, may you have learned your lesson.
How much?
I have about 4 in savings.
4,000. And what's owed to get current on the mortgage?
About 12,000.
Okay.
Fork it over.
Okay, and he doesn't have anything saved?
I would assume not. I can't say for sure.
I would do some homework and find out where you're at in the foreclosure process and find out how much time you have to at least try to get current on payments.
You know what I've always believed, okay? It's the person who has the most to lose that is the most vested in whatever the financial situation is. I can tell you right now, he's got nothing to lose. Her ex-fiance is going to ride this out, especially if he makes less, than she does. Okay. He's going to just ride this out until they kick him out of the house. Now, if her ex-fiance smart, he's saving his money and pretending he's paying rent because he's going to need it. But she is clearly the one to lose because she's the one not only calling in, not like we'd expect her, her ex-fiance to be calling in at the same time, but you can tell she's the one with the most vested interest. But here's why I don't feel too sorry for her. Greedy Gretchen. I just sense this from her. I just sense it. And I sense my bunny ears are telling me it's because his financial situation changed. That's what brought this on. And she just wasn't having it. Because if we are taking the call at face value, which is the only thing we can do, he has no money. So how is it that they were able to buy a house, get into it? And they were, clearly. All right. She said he's the one who always paid the mortgage. Now the house is 4 months behind. So that tells us he has no money to pay the mortgage. And what does she do? Instead of kicking in and saying, honey, I love you and I'm going to help you through this, and sacrificing some of her 112 chickens to help pay off the mortgage, she goes, no, I'm the F out. All right. And now she gets to deal with this. So for that reason, because I suspect that is what happened, that is the circumstances under which that happened. I don't feel sorry for her. And I'm actually glad he made her sign. Well, he didn't make her. She chose to. I'm really glad she chose to sign on the line for this. They both did stupid things. Neither one was bright.
So that you can get out of the foreclosure process and have time to then sell.
Okay.
And that might mean you both put some skin in the game and go, all right, I'm going to put in $3,000 a month and we're going to get caught up on these.
They ain't going to do it. They would have done it by now. If she was going to put skin in the game, assuming she's the one with the job, she's employed, all this stuff, from what we can tell, she would have already kept this house from going into foreclosure. And because they both have their names on it, they can't call the police and say this person's not supposed to be here. This is actually a fair situation, if you ask me. Okay, I would have felt worse if he had lost his job and then she just hightails it out and he's the one stuck with the house. Hence, then we wouldn't be getting this phone call. Okay, but in some ways, I feel like this is almost a fair fight. They can sink each other.
These payments, which means you need to get rid of all of the expenses in your life. Anything that isn't food, utility, shelter, transportation must go right now.
George, God love you. To the 80-year-old woman, like I said, go out and get a job. George, she ain't gonna do it. We know this because her rent is $2,400 a month in Raleigh, North Carolina. I think it's Raleigh. Is it Raleigh or Raleigh? I think it's Raleigh. It could be Raleigh. I apologize for mispronouncing it. Okay, $2,400. Come on. That's what people bring home in a month, okay? So the fact that she went from the so-called to-be marital house into a $2,400 a month place tells you her mind frame. She is not about beans and rice.
Including investing.
Okay. Well, do you... well, I have these credit cards that have like high interest rates.
Hey, hold on. We will let her finish. Okay, here we go.
Do you suggest taking a loan from the 401k?
No.
And paying it off?
No.
No more debt. If it has the word loan in it, if it has the word consolidation or relief or settlement, run.
Unless it has Xander. If it has Xander, then go ahead and take out the loan.
Run far away. Your income is the solution here. You.
She ain't gonna be no solution, George. She would have been. She has the income. Look, let's get honest. She has the income to have kept this foreclosure from happening to begin with. She already has the income. She chose not to put her income towards it. And the reason she chose not to put her income towards it is she believes her money is hers. He promised he was going to be the one to pay the mortgage. And that's how she sees it. But what she fails to see is that that they're both going to sink together. I think this is a good lesson for this woman. I know I'm not focusing on the guy as much, but it is the woman that's calling it. I'm thinking this is a good, righteous, hearty Christian lesson for her about giving to others. She could have saved this house, knowing that she makes $112,000, knowing that she can afford a $2,400 a month rental. She could have saved the house. So why didn't she? Because she's selfish.
Which means you need more income. You may need to get a second job, a third job for a short amount of time.
She ain't gonna do that.
You gotta get these house payments current so that, again, to George's point, you have time to sell this house. You don't want.
Does this woman sound like a second and third Uber job to you? Oh, hell no.
I want to go through foreclosure.
Can he get a temporary roommate, a friend of his, to live in the house too and pay rent?
He had that arrangement and it didn't work, Ken. It did not work. Or was it George that said it?
To help get above water?
What I don't know. That's what I mean. Like I said, we don't have communication. I would suggest that's what he do.
You're going to need to start communicating. You guys entered quite the partnership here to then just flee the coop.
I get that you guys don't love each other and you don't like each other, but you need each other right now. And that really is awful. I get it. But you guys have got to partner up on this thing to get out of this deal.
You're on.
She can't do that. She has a manicure appointment coming up.